everyone. Welcome to the inaugural session of What's the Buzz? It's the new program for the Attleboro Council on Aging. My name is Kelly Lee, Director of the Council on Aging, and with me today as our first guest is Marion Aspinall, President of the Friends of the Larson Senior Center. Good morning, Marion.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a glorious day out there.
It really is. It really is. It didn't make walking over here too bad. No rain or anything, huh? I'm curious to know more about the Friends group and how you got involved in the group. And I think that was more than a couple of years ago.
A lot more than a couple of years ago. The Friends began in 2002. We became a 501c nonprofit. At that time, we basically paid for programs at the Senior Center. Mm-hmm. So the holiday social, Thanksgiving luncheon, and any entertainment programs or whatever that was going on, we would assist with the funding of that. Our mission is to raise funds to provide goods and services to the Reverend Larson Senior Center in order to perpetuate the dignity, well-being, and independence of the senior citizens of Attleboro. That's a big mission. It's a big mission.
Important.
It's a big mission. I began as president in 2002.
That's right.
And then somebody else became president, and then I became president again because nobody else wanted to do it. So right now I am the president of the Friends group, and we have a great group.
It's really grown over the past year or so.
It's grown over the years. When we started in 2002, we had about 13 people on the board, which was good.
Yeah.
But as time went on, and then of course COVID just shut everything down, mm-hmm. and we couldn't continue with fundraising or anything. But before that, our major fundraiser, which I talk about all the time, is the Senior Show, which was very popular mm-hmm. with the citizens of Attleboro.
I've seen some of the tapes.
Yes, and we're having the tapes made into DVDs, so hopefully the Senior Center can show them as a movie day or something.
Definitely.
But yeah, so I've been involved since 2002. I actually was involved in the Senior Center prior to that in the mid-90s. As the regional Shine director. Right. So that's where I started at the Senior Center. And then I moved on to the state, but I continued with working with it.
So you've got a long history.
Long history.
With the Senior Center. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What makes you stay? What's your passion around the Friends group?
Well, as time goes on, I see more and more needs for the seniors as years go by. Things get more expensive. Sure. Their income surely doesn't go up. So as the years went on, we saw those things. We kind of changed our focus mm-hmm. To providing assistance to the seniors. So last year we spent over $9,000 paying for utility bills. We had a gentleman whose house was going to be condemned because he was a hoarder. We assisted with paying for the dumpsters. Mm-hmm. We had another gentleman who hadn't had hot water in months. His hot water heater broke. He couldn't get a new one. We paid for that. So that's kind of our focus now. If the need is there, then we want to be able to assist the seniors. And some of them had utility bills over $1,700. They just couldn't pay them. Mm-hmm. If you're either going to eat or you're going to pay your electric bill, you choose between that. So we were able to help those folks. We're also looking at home repairs. Mm-hmm. We'd like to do more of that because there's a lot of folks who have minor repairs or need a
grab bar
in the bathroom or
Sure.
whatever. We had we work closely with the outreach folks, and we had a woman who lived in a condo, and she'd lived there for a very long time, but there were no railings outside to go down the outside stairs, and she was very cautious about that now as
Sure.
she aged, and the condo would not pay to have it done. They had somebody who would do it, but the condo wouldn't pay.
Okay.
Whatever you call that agency that they have. Mm-hmm. So we said we would pay for this railing for her, and she was like so thrilled because she thought she was going to have to move because she was just too nervous about going up and down the stairs to get in and out of her house.
So it sounds like really what the Friends are doing is enabling older adults in our community to stay in their own homes and not have to go to a higher level of care.
Yeah, I mean, most people want to stay in their home. They don't want to leave their home. And if we can help them be able to do that, then we want to do that. Obviously, we can't pay for new roofs or extreme, but a lot of it's just minor little things, like the grab bars, like a railing. You know, we can help them find a ramp, how to get a ramp put up. So that's our focus. We will pay for programs, obviously, if something comes up, and you know, like the holiday social or Thanksgiving or the Veterans Breakfast, we've always contributed to that.
That's wonderful.
We will still do that, but I think over the years, just the way the economy has become, we've really changed our focus.
You have, and it's not as though you're enabling people, you're empowering them to be able to stay in their home. So I think I remember you mentioning that if somebody comes to us or comes to the Friends because they're in need of assistance with a utility bill, that we pay attention to that so that it's not every year, because then it becomes a different need.
Correct. You know, when we do it the first time, and they're vetted, that, you know, we know that they owe that bill through the outreach department. And if they, and like you said, if they come back next year and the year after, then we know there's something going on, and maybe they need some kind of assistance with a budget or spending or whatever. So, you know, we can refer them to money management to see where they're missing something. For some of them, one case in particular that always stuck with me was a woman, her and her husband lived in a home, and he passed away. Well, I don't know if people realize, but when your spouse passes away, you lose half your income. You lose that income. So now she has one income, and she's still got the same bills. So her electric bill was $1,700, and it was going to be shut off. They won't shut it off in the winter, but when spring comes, that's when they start looking and saying, you know, we're going to shut off your power. So we were able to help her and pay that for her. And it's difficult.
And do the older adults, do they get notification from the utility company in advance so that that can be planned?
Right, they can help them set up a budget. So there are options. We don't always have to pay the bill. We can work with the utility company and the individual to find other options, you know, a payment plan or wherever it is. I mean, the utility company isn't just going to say, that's it, you're done. They try to work with the individual. But in some cases, it's just so much money that we just say, we'll pay at this time. But again, you know, you have to look at your budget and where you're spending your money and make some changes, maybe.
And the Friends, now you've got a significant group that everybody votes on those kinds of decisions?
Right. In the past, especially during COVID, if something came up, there was just two of us. So we just kind of said, yeah, we'll do this. But now we vote on it. We're trying to get a system where we work with the outreach, where they provide us all the information and we look at the circumstances and then vote as to whether it's something we want to do or not. But again, we leave it up to the outreach to look at the person's income to see if it's a need or if it's just, they just don't bother paying it.
Yeah. Well, that's good that people are being vetted so it isn't just a bottomless pit of funds.
Yeah, because I think sometimes that's what happens. You know, well, they paid it last year, they'll pay it this year. And I understand that. Well, I got to buy medicine, so I can't pay my electric bill. It's just the way the economy is for these folks. So we try to help as much as we can. Obviously, we don't have millions of dollars. We try to do fundraising to raise funds.
Is that where all of the funding comes from?
The majority. We do get donations. We have people who donate. A lot of times if someone passes away, the family will have donations sent to us for that. Some people just send us a donation because they want to help.
Some people, in fact, when we were doing tax returns through AARP and Joe Feroce as the district coordinator, people would come in and literally, I mean, granted it wasn't every day, all day, but would hand over a $100 bill or some kind of donation, whatever that they could afford, and that goes directly into the Friends account to be able to assist more older adults.
I think last year we got several $100s, I know.
Isn't that amazing?
Joe is our treasurer, so he knows exactly what was donated.
Right, we've got to have him on at some point before tax season.
But I do think that it was several $100s that we got because they're getting it done for free. And so it's a great service for them. So
it really is.
Yeah. And then we hold events that hopefully we can raise money at.
And there's one coming up.
There is one coming up on September 22nd. It's music bingo.
That sounds like fun.
People love it. I've gone a couple of times. It is fun. It is really fun. It's going to be at the North Attleboro Elks on Bullfinch Street, and it's the 22nd from 1:30 to 4. It's $10 a person, and that gets them 4 bingo cards. And we'll have snacks. There's a cash bar. So we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good, fun time for everybody.
That sounds like a nice.
Right. And we're working on other things.
Do you want to give a hint about anything that's coming up?
We are looking at a faux fashion show, which is a spoof on a fashion show. And we've done it before. We did it in 1995. We did it. So we're looking at that as a reprise with new people and some new costumes. So we don't know. That's as far as we've gotten. We'd like to have it in May because that's Older Americans Month.
That's right.
But we don't have any great detail that I can divulge at this point.
Do you think that there might be an opportunity to invite people from the community to participate in
We
the
always
fashion
have
show?
the community to, as much as we can. But in our shows, in this fashion show, it's really all community people. And seniors, but they're community people. But we had Rusty Conti, we had John Lepper, and some of the city councilors at the time. So we try to get everybody involved. We had kids.
That's wonderful.
People's grandkids were in the events. So we try to incorporate the city in it. And I think that's what made the show so popular.
Sure.
Because people would go and they knew everybody. Oh, there's my granddaughter, there's my mother, there's my cousin.
Where might we hold this?
That's the issue at this point. We had it at the Highland, which doesn't exist anymore. So that's what we're looking at, is where we could do it that would work. The shows were held at Peter Thatcher Middle School.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's going to be a good venue for a fashion show. So we have to look around and see what's available that we can use.
Sure. I kind of jumped away from the, I apologize.
No, that's okay.
From the bingo. If somebody out in the audience wanted to purchase tickets, how do they go about doing that?
We'll be selling tickets starting next Tuesday from 11:30 to 1 at the Senior Center. And we will also sell tickets at the door.
Okay.
So folks can either buy at the Senior Center or buy at the door.
And the ticket price would be the same?
Yes, yes. And I know that a couple of months ago we had a country line dance, which was really popular. And we did have a lot of people come in. Even though we said we weren't going to sell tickets at the door, people came in, and of course we let them in. But this event we will sell tickets at the door. So hopefully that'll bring in more people.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun.
Sounds like a great way to spend a September afternoon and support a great cause that you are keeping people in the community and in their own homes.
And with winter, I hate to say it, coming, there's going to be people who need help with fuel, with whatever is coming up in the cold weather. So we want to, get as much money in as we can. I'm not sure people understand that the Council on Aging can't raise money. I think they think that, well, it's the Council on Aging, but it really isn't. We're a separate entity. Even though we say we're the Friends of the Reverend Larson Senior Center, we are a nonprofit 501c3 separate from the COA. Being a government agency, they can't fundraise. So that's where the money comes in to pay for these things. But I think sometimes people get confused and they think it's all the same, but it really isn't. It's a separate entity.
That's a good thing to mention.
So the money doesn't go to the city, it comes to us.
And it's directly benefiting the older adults that live here.
Yes, yes. So if people have issues or they need help with something, call the senior center, talk to someone in the outreach department, explain your situation, and then they come to us and say, this is the situation, this person needs X, Y, Z, and then we can decide how we want to do that. And again, it can't be a $10,000 roof, but minor repairs is
because we want to keep people safe.
Yes.
Right? So for people that may not be aware, that telephone number is 774-203-1906, and then you can ask to be transferred to a member of our outreach team to get further information and discuss whatever other needs that you might have or a loved one might have.
Right. And sometimes I remember many years ago I was doing a event, and I was going to people's homes, and some people, their front stairs were falling down. You didn't even want to go up to their door because the wood was missing on their porch or their stairs. So those are things that we can do. If someone has that need, on my porch I have boards missing, I need it fixed. Those are minor repairs that we can do. So call, and if you need something.
And what if somebody that's listening today is interested in becoming a member of the Friends? How do they do that?
They can call the senior center, and the senior center will take a message and contact one of us. At this point in time, we're still working on getting our own phone number and a website and all those kinds of things because we're just starting up again. But they can call the senior center, and somebody will take a message and get it to us, and then we'll call them because we're always looking for people.
Is it certain types of skills that we're looking for, or a willingness to?
I think it's just a willingness to jump in and do whatever we need done. I mean, obviously, if you have a special skill, that's great. But, just to want to help, to want to get involved, and, a lot of the work isn't glamorous.
But it sounds like everybody has a lot of fun.
But we have a good time, and everybody jumps in where it's needed. So, we're always looking for other people because fundraising events take a lot of people and a lot of time. Even a small event takes a lot of people and a lot of time. So the more people that we have, the more events we can do. So yes, please, if you're interested, call and we will get back to you and give you all the information.
And the tickets, those will be for the music bingo coming up. Those will start. I can't believe it's the end of August already. And we'll be into September. So this is right around the corner.
Yeah. 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 So, and it's at a different, it's in North Attleboro, which is a change.
But wasn't that one of our members has a connection
One of our board
there?
members belongs to the North Attleboro Elks. So he was able to get the building for us. And hopefully we'll get folks from North Attleboro.
That'd be nice.
So yeah, it's, I'm looking forward to it. I've done it a couple of times and it really is, fun. Fun, yeah.
Yeah, the pictures and the videos of the line dancing fundraiser that you had before this one, was that in June?
June, I think.
Time flies.
I can't keep track of time.
Time flies.
That was a big success. I mean, people had the best time, and they were so enthused. And I gave a little speech at the end and thanked everybody for coming, and talked about what we did. And they were like so enthused about being there and helping out. So, hoping this will be the same way.
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. Anything else that we want to share with the viewers? We're getting close to time in terms of the Friends group and what we might see in the future, what opportunities for fundraising, maybe a new home for the COA.
Well, that would be lovely. That definitely would be lovely. And, we're willing to do whatever we need to do to help out. I mean, if we do get a new senior center, which we're hoping for, there'll be a lot of things that'll be needed. The Friends group can really participate in outdoor furniture and all those kinds of things that, you know, barbecue and whatever else is needed. Because there's a lot of things that can't be done where we are now. You know, you can't have, I was looking, Plainville had a barbecue, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could have a barbecue, but where are we going to have it? I know we can use the church, the Good News Bible Chapel, which we use for a lot of programs, but to have our own space and to be able to do those types of things would be great. And then, you know, we could focus on getting that stuff done. But time will tell. Time will tell. We're hopeful, and the mayor is working towards it. I think she's really great about looking at this and saying this is a plan that we need to do.
And exploring all the potential opportunities for funding and
and it's a huge expense. It's a huge expense, but you know, as you know, and you haven't been here that long, and I've been there forever. That building is just outrageous. You know, it's just not big enough. You know, and we used to have our Thanksgiving luncheon in that building, and we had 70, 80 people. And last year we had 180 for Thanksgiving. Yeah, and 200 for the holiday celebration at the Elks in Attleboro. Right. So, and that's what we want to do. We want to get more people. The other thing that the Friends can do is, a lot of times there are events that cost, like maybe the Thanksgiving dinner or the holiday social. And if the outreach folks know that there's someone who would like to go but they can't afford it, they really can't, they don't have the money, we're happy to help. And we work closely with Triad, and Triad helps.
Good point. Thanks for mentioning that.
In fact, we just partnered with them and purchased 100 fans, which we've been giving out to seniors. So if you need a fan, stop by the senior center and get a fan. Because, well, you know, we need today, but I anticipate hot weather will come back.
It probably will. We really did have some hot spells.
Yes.
And there are a lot of older adults in the community that if they don't own their own home, an air conditioning unit isn't necessarily an option for them if they aren't getting permission from the landlord. So the fans at least provide that circulating air.
So, you know, if you need one, just stop by and ask for one. But those are one of the things we do. We've partnered with Triad most years for the holiday social. We've split the cost of the holiday social. So we get partnerships with other groups to try to do things together.
You do even with North Attleboro?
With North Attleboro, we partner with them on the trips. So North Attleboro arranges for the trips. They give us the information. We advertise them in our newsletter. And the information is right there. If you're interested in taking one of the trips, the phone number is there. You just call Sue and she can take your information and your money. And some of the trips are great. I mean, I look at them and think, boy, I'd like to go on that trip.
I know. Yeah. And they're all different price points. That's the other thing to keep in mind.
Yes. The popular ones are the ones that are held at Lake Pearl.
It's a beautiful location too.
And they run around $90, but you're getting a meal, you're getting entertainment. It's pricey, but for a lot of folks, they can do it. And it's always, that's the big one, that's always packed when people go there. So we try to work with other towns or agencies or whatever to provide whatever seniors might need that we can help them with.
And if people want to learn more about what's going on at the COA, at the Attleboro Council on Aging, you can feel free to go to the city's website as well, and there's a link to the newsletter online, or you can feel free to give us a call and we can add you to the mailing list. One of the things that we are working on is trying to get things electronic to save on postage. So if you have an email address, that's even better, and you get it sooner because it doesn't have to go through the U.S. Postal Service. That takes a little bit more time. But there is a whole lot going on at the Council on Aging, and we're really grateful that Marion was able to come on and be the first guest on the inaugural session of What's the Buzz. And one of the things that I should note is, and this was not fixed in any way, we did a vote through the newsletter to name this show. And Marion actually was the one that contributed this suggestion of What's the Buzz. So is there any special reason?
Well, there is, because the day that I talked to you about it, I have a Jesus Christ Superstar CD, and I was playing it on the radio on my CD, and it said, What's the Buzz? Tell me what's happening. And I thought, what's a great name for the show? So I said to Kelly, as a joke, what's the buzz? And when she told me that, I won. I couldn't believe it because it seemed far-fetched to me. But I guess a lot of people got it.
Apparently.
When they said, what's the buzz? They got the so I was happy about that. And I think it's a great name, What's the Buzz?
Okay.
And we're going to tell you what's happening.
So stay tuned for future sessions of What's the Buzz with different guests, and we'll be talking about the International Senior Gala next time. We'll have some guests on and talk about that. It's not a fundraiser, it's an event that's promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion amongst older adults in the city of Attleboro. So you want to tune in and hear more about that. But thank you again, Marion. And
thank you.
I'm sure we'll have you on again.
I'm sure I'm like a bad penny.
No, you're not. We need more people like Marion. So if you want to join the Friends.
Join the Friends,
Give
please.
us a shout.
Yes, we can always use folks.
Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. See you next time on What's the Buzz.